everyone, this is Ifealoge and you are welcome to my channel. This is the final episode of the Single, Saved and Horny series, and today we are going to be answering your questions. Now, if this is a conversation you would love to be a part of, then definitely stay tuned. Welcome back. This is the 5th part of our Single, Saved and Horny series. Yay! We started from talking about how real it is to feel horny even when you're single and you love Jesus. We talked about how it doesn't make you an evil person. We shared different ways to manage it. We shared how masturbation and pornography is not one of those ways. And today we are going to be answering some of the questions that we got from this series. There are quite a number of questions that were similar, so if you don't hear your questions, doesn't mean that it is not important. It's probably because they're similar, so we just merged it into one. So today we are going to be answering 5 questions. But before we go ahead and answer these questions, I would love to appreciate every one of you. You deserve an ambassadorial applause. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for liking, for dropping comments. Thank you all so much, because it's because you do that I keep doing this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And to our special guests on this series, we had 2 special guests. We had Ifeoluwayinka Adekoya and we had Opoluwa Alonge. I just want to say thank you so much for coming on board and for sharing and for impacting lives. God bless you all. Now to the cocoa of the matter. Let's answer these questions. To answer these questions, I had to ask other people their opinion on this matter. And I want to give a shout out to my WhatsApp family. You guys are the real MVP. You literally respond to everything I say or everything I ask for. Thank you so much. So I posted it on WhatsApp and Facebook, and many people responded to some of these questions. So many answers were similar. I did a bit of research too on Google, of course, and I was able to come up with some of the answers I'm going to be sharing today. Thank you so much for taking our time to share your wealth of knowledge. I'm going to be reading this question from a book. I had to write it down because I'm recording with my phone. So I'm going to be reading it out now. So the very first question we're going to be answering is number 1. I think, okay, no, I'm going to answer this question last. The best saved for the last. So I'm going to be answering the second question here that says that I never experienced feeling horny as a virgin, and even now that I'm married, I still don't feel much. Still don't feel it much. Do you think there's an issue with me? So I had to Google this. And I had to ask some of my medical friends this question, like, okay, someone that doesn't feel horny, is the person okay? Is there something medically wrong with the person and things like that? And the answer that I got to this question is no, you are absolutely normal. So I've come to learn while researching this that we all have different sex drives. We all have how it is to do us. There are some of us that the level of giz that we have high sex drives, and there's people that have low sex drives. It is absolutely normal to have either of both. So if you have low sex drives, you might not really feel horny the way many other people would. And I've come to also learn that there are so many other things that affect your sex drive. It could be biological, it could be hormonal changes in your body, it could be stress, it could be anything. It could be maybe you're worried about something. If you're stressed out, your mind, if you're thinking about things, being horny might just be the last thing on your mind. So to answer this question, if you do not feel horny, you are absolutely normal. However, when you're married and you know how important it is to spice up that, there are certain things that you can do. So I would advise that you go ahead and Google the certain things that you can do, or there's a particular person on Instagram that I would advise, I'll whisper that you go follow so that you can learn how to spice things up. I'm going to drop our Instagram handle down below, so you should check it out and follow her. Next question. The next question here is, my partner and I have been sexually active. Do you think it is realistic to stop but still remain in the relationship, or is better to end it? I'm not going to say too much about this, but one thing I can say is that when you're with someone or you're in a relationship and you're already sexually active, it can be very, very difficult to stop. Many of the people that answer this question said the same thing, like the same thing. It can be really difficult to stop. So except you all have gotten to a level where you know, I used to say this, don't lie to yourself. Don't deceive yourself. Be honest with yourself. And if you've sat down and you've really analyzed it and you've realized, okay, we can handle things now. People evolve, people grow, our level of self-control improves. And remember, we are now looking onto God more. We are trusting Jesus to help us with this more. So we might have grown, our mindset might have improved. So be honest with yourself. If you know that, okay, there's been changes, we've grown, we've gotten better at this, and we can undo this, then why not? If you really want to do this and you have been sexually active with your partner, you might just need that moment of separation to work on yourselves individually, to grow, to get better, to improve on your level of self-control. And then if it has to be, you might come back together again. That is just my own no. And the few people that answered the question doesn't mean that my answer is the correct answer, or my answer is right, or your answer is wrong. It's just my answer. Now the third question here says, if you are in a godly relationship, would you tell your partner when you're feeling horny? If yes, would you tell them just once or anytime you feel that way? Would it embarrass you? My brothers and sisters in the Lord, you see this thing, for me, I feel like if we are in a relationship, we should be able to communicate. We should be able to talk about this thing. We should be on the same page. Are we both working towards celibacy? If yes, so if we are together, we are just having fun, we are just talking about wanting gisting or something, and I'm beginning to feel some type of way, I think it is important to let your partner know. Since you're both on the same page after all, so guy, I don't know, I don't understand how I'm feeling the way I beg, let's just go and do something, or let's just go and do it, say a movie or something. Your partner understands. Sometimes your partner might just be stroking your hair, and in stroking your hair, might be doing it innocently, and as he's stroking the hair, things start ministering to things, and you know what I'm saying, you understand. So if you can just let your partner know, guy, this hair that you're stroking is beginning to cause World War IV or something, it will be easier. I feel like it will be easier to be able to deal with things like that. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, or whatever it is you guys can put in place to make your relationship work. I feel like communication is key, and this is one of the things that should be talked about. I'm feeling like this. I don't think it's okay for us to be in the car alone. I think it's right time for me to go into my room. I'm feeling like this. I don't think it's okay for us to be here right now and stuff. When you communicate, it will be easier, because your partner might not be feeling that way at that time, and he might just be innocently doing whatever it is that he's doing, and he won't know that he's doing anything to you except you communicate it. So I feel that if you have a partner, if I have a partner today and we're together and I'm feeling some type of way, I would communicate with my partner. I will tell him that this is how I'm feeling, and I'm not only going to do it once or twice. I'm going to do it for as many times that I need to do it. I'm going to talk about it. Sometimes talking about it helps. So for me, I'm going to talk about it, and I'm not going to feel embarrassed about it. I mean, this is my partner. This is somebody that we are planning on spending the rest of our lives together. Embarrassed that Konji is doing it, I don't understand. I have to let him know. So I feel like it is something that we should be able to talk to our partners about. Even as Christians, we should be able to tell them, let's start talking about this thing. Babe, I really enjoy our hangout session today, but I'm starting to feel somehow, and I think that we need to leave this place. You know, simple. So question number 4 says that how long would you advise a courtship or relationship, since we are taking any sexual activities off the table. This particular question got tons of answers, and I think my favorite answers would be the answer that there really is no timeline to when your courtship should be, in my opinion, and the opinion of so many people that answered. There really is no timeline because there are certain issues that needs to be dealt with in courtship. Courtship is a period to get to know your partner. Courtship is a period to talk about what your marriage is going to look like. We're going to talk about our finances. We're going to talk about in-laws. Are they going to be staying with us? Don't want them to stay with us. We're going to talk about history, our family differences and similarities. We're going to talk about the number of kids we want to have, the schools they will go to. Are we going to have help in our houses? Some of these issues need to be talked about. Someone that answered this question cited an example of how, we are going to see couples are about to get married and you're going to ask them the number of children they want to have and they don't have an answer. So you're wondering what happened during courtship. So for me, I feel like how long would it take you to be able to trash things out, to talk about these things? If it's going to take you 6 months, by all means, what are you waiting for after you've discussed these things? If it's going to take you a year, it's going to take you 2 years to break the ice. It totally depends on the mission, totally depends on what it is you want to achieve. Also, there are certain people that start their relationship while in university or something, and they've been dating since university days. They don't have a job yet or anything, so it might not be easy for them to get married after like a year or 2 years of courtship, But by the time they're through with school and they've been able to get a job, then they can talk about getting married. So do you want to tell those people that it's only 6 months or a year that they should court? I understand the school of thought that says that courtship shouldn't be too long, because the shorter the courtship, the higher your chances of not falling into fornication, the higher your chances of not doing things that you would not want to do, and then the higher your chances of even getting married, because you will not start noticing that this person is taller than his neck, or his toe is shorter than his finger. You know what I mean? So I understand that school of thought, but however, as much as we try to make sure we sit down with our partners as early as we can, we should know that much more than the timing, it is what that period of courtship is meant for. I hope I answered this question, because there are so many answers and I just kept reading and I'm like, okay, let me marry these answers together. And I think that this is because some people were like, they're the better 6 months to 1 year max, and I understand that school of thought too. And some people were like, please, the longer it takes, you need to know your partner and all. I also understand that school of thought, but at the end of the day, no matter how long you spend with someone, you won't finish knowing the person. You understand? So it's not really about the length of time. That's what I'm driving at. It's not really about how long or how short. It's about doing what you ought to do in the period of courtship, knowing each other, answering questions, and preparing for your marriage. And now, the final question of the day. This question says, I think this topic is really awkward, especially for a lady to handle. Why do you see the need to discuss it? And won't it put godly men off from coming to you? When I saw this question, I was like, I don't even know how to answer this question. Godly men will have issues with the fact that I am talking about the fact that continue to do us. Continue to do the godly man. Doesn't the godly man feel horny? I don't understand why you should have a problem with the fact that I'm talking about it. I just feel like this is what is happening. People are not talking about it enough. I don't have a problem with discussing it. I feel like it's a need. Why do I need to discuss? I feel like we should talk about it. I feel like as Christians, we shy away from it so much that we are looking at the wrong alternatives to dealing with it, and it is killing us. It's affecting our spiritual growth. So I feel like let's talk about it. If we talk about it, if we get to understand that, so my fellow Christian sisters and brothers are actually feeling this thing too. Okay, so I'm not alone in this. Okay, so this is how they are dealing with this. It can help you too to learn how to. Do you know how much I have learned? I have learned so many things in the past 2 months from people just talking about how they've been dealing with this thing. So I just feel it is important. It will help us deal with it better. It will help us grow. It will help our spiritual life. That is the reason why I'm talking about it. And I feel like any godly man that is put off and won't come to me or won't think I'm worthy to be married to because I'm talking about this, it's not the one. Because the one knows that this babe is bold, and if she feels it's impressed in her heart to discuss a topic, she's gonna get up and talk about it. She's not going to pretend about it. She's not going to shy away from it. She's going to discuss it. So the one is going to recognize that boldness and that part of me, and is definitely not going to have a problem with it. And so I absolutely have no problem with this. I actually got this question from 3 different ladies telling me, cautioning me, more like cautioning me about how I'm still single, I'm unmarried, and I shouldn't really be talking about sex the way I'm talking about it. My brother and sister, I used to feel horny. I used to feel this sexy thing. I feel it, and I have to talk about it. I'm sorry. So we've come to the end of this questions and answer section. We've come to the end of the single, saved and honey series. And I'm going to miss talking about it on my YouTube channel, but I'm still very much open to talking about it. So people reach out to me on WhatsApp, and I enjoy talking about these things. So people have told me about their progress, and I enjoy. It's so exciting, especially after the last video. There was so much, and they were telling about their progress, their relapses, and it's like a community for me. So I've really enjoyed my time talking about this. And I just want to say that let's keep trying. Even if you've tried and you're falling again, keep trying. Never stop trying. Never stop trying. Because there is therefore now no condemnation. God hasn't condemned you. Nobody's allowed to condemn you. Even you yourself. Don't condemn yourself. Just keep trying. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you so much for constantly listening in. Thank you for desiring to grow spiritually. Thank you for going on this journey with me. This is not the end of my channel. In fact, I have one very hot, interesting gist for you next week. So make sure you subscribe and turn off the notification bell. Make sure you subscribe and put on the notification bell, so that anytime I drop a new video, you all are going to be the first to get notified, and you're going to watch. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to share it. Don't forget to comment. Thank you all so much. Thank you. I can't thank you enough.